Basement Hunter here. Before I get started on part 3, I'd like to show some video I found where I left off last time. It shows the top half of the prop so you can see what the finished mold looked like before it was cut and removed. By the way, the type of silicone I've been using is liquid nail silicone. I've had the best success with it so far. I found it at Tractor Supply and Walmart. I bought several tubes of a name brand at Home Depot this summer for a project, and it was a complete disaster because it didn't cure. So far I haven't had that issue with liquid nail brand. Even thick layers it dries clear through. Here is the molding of the candle. I only got 2 pours out of the mold before it tore. I think it's because I didn't smooth the silicone enough, leaving big crease areas, and also the layer was thin in the area where it tore. I also tore the skull mold just trying to remove it from the prop. That's when I started realizing these creases and thin areas were issues. I think smoothing out the creases should make it more durable. I can't find video making the mold of the skull and the arm that holds it, but you can see it's not a very good job because of all the creases in the mold. Here I was trying to get the mold off the skull. I had some trouble getting the mold to release because of how small the opening was at the bottom. It took some twisting and turning to get it to release. I had to get my thumb down inside to stretch it, and in the process tore the bottom some, but it made the opening big enough that it released. I trimmed off some of the excess silicone at the bottom with scissors. That will help see where I need to stop pouring resin. As I mentioned earlier, the mold got tore when trying to release it. I pushed it back onto the prop and added another batch of silicone to try to repair it. I haven't got a pour out of it yet, so I don't know what it will look like. I knew the arm section was going to be a challenge from the start, but decided to quickly mold it anyway. I tried to mold half of it but ran into a few issues. First, the skull overhang. I'm not going to get a flush top for the skull to go on because the skull's jaw hung down lower than the opposite side of the arm. I also need this to be in 2 halves and join them somehow. The inside needs to be hollow for the wires to run through. Making it solid and drilling later was not an option because of the curves. Trying to piece the halves together would have been a challenge also. I decided this method was not going to work for this section of the prop. This seemed like a good job for the 3D printer. I decided to make a second skull mold since the first one tore, and if the first one works out okay, it will still be nice to have 2 skull molds since I need 4 skulls total. It would be quicker to pour 2 at a time. Finally, I made the body mold. I made a slit down the back to remove it, and I still need to make a flat piece of silicone to stick to the bottom so it can be filled with resin. That's going to be it for part 3. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.